WOWT 6 News. Welcome home.
In the news this morning, a woman is struck by a car and rushed to the hospital with critical injuries. Now, Omaha police are looking for the driver responsible. Plus, a deadly tornado outbreak in Texas leaves multiple dead and many more hurt. Ahead, a look at the destruction. And we have 6 things for you to do today on this rainy Sunday, April 30th, 2017.
From your home for news, this is WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend.
Last day of April, if you can believe it, at 8 a.m. I'm Collin Ruane. Meteorologist Peter Sherwood is here with a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. And when you step outside, the weather doesn't really make it feel like it's going to be May tomorrow.
That's right. And we even do have my hour-by-hour forecast.
Active pattern for sure. Thanks, PETA. Developing right now, a Bellevue man is dead following an overnight crash in Iowa. It happened just before midnight. According to the Iowa State Patrol, 45-year-old Both Talk of Bellevue was driving westbound on I-80 when his car broke down near Adair. Investigators say an oncoming semi did not see the car and slammed into it. Talk died at the scene. 42-year-old Kek Yak of Omaha was a passenger in the car and was taken to the hospital. We are still waiting to get word on his condition this morning. The driver of the semi was not hurt. Also developing overnight, a woman is rushed to the hospital after being hit by a car in North Omaha, and the suspect is still on the run. It happened near 29th and Ames just after 3 this morning. You see officials there. Police on scene tell us the woman was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. Police say the car that hit her was found abandoned just down the street. At last check, police are still looking for that driver. Also happening overnight, a house fire near 20th and Florence kept Omaha fire crews busy. At one point, heavy flames could be seen shooting from the roof. It took nearly an hour before crews were able to put it out. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Crews do say the house was vacant. Well, looking at national news this morning, at least 7 people are dead, dozens hurt after 3 reported tornadoes struck Texas. Storm chasers caught that video you see there of this funnel cloud in the Canton area just east of Dallas. The storm system caused extensive damage. 2 other twisters were reported in neighboring counties. More than 50 people were taken to area hospitals with injuries. More weather news. Heavy rain, a concern in the Midwest. Right now, residents in southwest Missouri are cleaning up after severe flooding washed away the interior of their homes. In Neosho, residents say as much as 3 feet of water got into their homes. Some people say they lost everything, while others were able to salvage some items. People found piles of mud, holes in walls, and debris strewn about their homes. Outside, streets remain underwater or collapsed. Meanwhile, severe thunderstorms rolled through Oklahoma. Just take a look at the floodwaters there. They knocked out power and flooded those roads. This video is from Tulsa. It shows a car stuck in high water. The National Weather Service issued flood watches across much of the state after strong storms dropped as much as 5 inches of rain. The storms knocked out power to almost 80,000 customers in both Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And there are reports that some roads are totally blocked off by trees and down power lines. Back to your local news this morning. Creighton University officials are investigating after a disturbing message is left on the dorm room of a gay student. Joseph Gray tells me someone knocked on his door and left a hateful note. It says in part, "Kill yourself, leave our school. Gays are not welcome in Nebraska or Creighton." The note also includes a gay slur. He took the note to the university, which is now investigating.
I have to go on the street and worry about it every other day. I shouldn't have to come back to where I sleep and worry about what am I going to see.
In a statement to students, the school says, quote, "The incident is a breach of the Jesuit values we all share as the Creighton community." Goes on to say the values which bind us all and the common mission of ensuring Creighton is a safe, respectful, and inclusive place. The university president calls the note hateful and discriminatory. He says the university's Office of Equity and Inclusion is investigating it. Well, right now, police in Scottsbluff are investigating after a dead body is found. Police say last night someone found the body of a dead man near a canal drain on the east side of town. At last check, police have not identified him, but are calling his death suspicious. An autopsy is scheduled in the coming days. Well, town hall meetings have grown in popularity over the years, especially with such divisive issues at hand. Yesterday was the first of several for Republican Congressman Don Bacon. He kicked things off at Gretna High School, where things stayed fairly civil for the most part. He later made his way to Millard West High School near 180th and Q. There, things got a little more animated.
Nepotism sucks!
USA! USA!
While there were plenty of folks rallying against Bacon, there were just as many supporters, and both sides agreed town halls like this are critical in making sure all voices are heard.
They're very important for the congressman to be able.
These two town halls mark the first of many for the congressman. He'll be holding more in Bennington, Elkhorn, North Omaha, Papillion, and South Omaha in the upcoming months. If you missed yesterday's and aren't able to make it to the others, no worries. He'll also be holding a tele-town hall over the phone. That's coming up in June. More political news. President Donald Trump marked his 100th day in office with a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. It is a key swing state which helped propel him to the White House. NBC's Chris Pallone has more. Well, despite this wet and chilly weather we're seeing today, Sarpy County is celebrating Earth Day, and they have a big day planned at the Bellevue Public Schools Lead Activity Center. Jenna Janes continues our coverage. All right, we look forward to it. Thanks, Jenna. Still ahead in this hour-long newscast, we have your guide to happenings around town today. 6 things for you to do. But first, here's Peta.
It's a tale of two seasons as rain and snow showers continue to plummet the Central Plains. All of that is happening right now.
A lot going on right now. I'm ignoring the first part of that forecast and just looking at the better second part.
That's right. So we just have to get through today and tonight, and then tomorrow we should be good.
Yeah, stay warm. Thanks so much, Peta. Well, coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have a look at all the new movies slated to hit theaters this summer. You're watching WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend.
From your home for news, this is WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend.
8:31 on this dreary Sunday morning. It is April 30th, 2017. I'm Collin Ruane. We're joined by meteorologist Peta Sherwood, and there are a lot of colors on that map.
You got it. All right. We are dealing with...
Up north in Oklahoma, Governor Mary Fallin has declared a state of emergency for all 77 Oklahoma counties as waters rose in Green Country yesterday. The move comes as massive storms brought rain and high winds across much of the state. In northeastern Oklahoma, flooding brought trouble to area residents. And in Missouri, floodwaters forced officials to evacuate campgrounds at Roaring River Park in Cassville. Visitors staying in cabins in the area also had to be relocated. Emergency crews say the bridges near the park's fishing areas were covered in water. Some roads are also blocked off at last check, though. The park does remain open. Back here locally, several people did their part in keeping prescription drugs off the streets and out of the wrong hands. It was all part of an area-wide drug take-back event put on by Omaha Police, along with other law enforcement agencies. Let's show you what things looked like at Hy-Vee at 132nd and Dodge. Organizers tell us they had more than 300 people come to that location alone. There were boxes with more than 400 pounds of prescription drugs. They say this event is crucial in helping get rid of these meds safely.
That means that we're taking a lot of drugs off the streets. People have a lot of narcotics that are in their cabinets that are not being used. So that keeps those things off of the street, and then we can safely dispose of them with the DEA.
We're told the cold weather didn't seem to scare anyone off. Nationally, the DEA says that there are typically hundreds of thousands of pounds of unwanted meds netted during each take-back day. Thousands of people gathered in the nation's capital to march for climate change and the environment. That's topping your political news this morning. The demonstration in Washington, D.C. coincided with similar protests around the country. It's what's being called the People's Climate March. Participants started in front of the U.S. Capitol building and made their way to the White House before ending with a rally at the Washington Monument. The march marks President Donald Trump's 100th day in office. It takes aim at his environmental policies. President Trump says his administration has brought profound change to Washington in his first 100 days in the White House. Last night, the president held a rally in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, skipping on a traditional White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. Trump spoke about the great battles to come, that's a quote, in the upcoming days of his presidency, and that he has been keeping promises and that people are happy. He addressed trade, health care, the economy, foreign relations, along with many other topics. He also called his agenda historic and renewed his allegiance to the American people. Happening outside the venue where the rally took place, supporters and protesters of the president clashed in the streets. The large crowd of people and chaos led to a screaming match among the two sides. Arrests were made, but right now we don't know just how many there were. This week, Congress will hold a hearing to examine airline customer service after recent incidents involving airline passengers. On Tuesday, the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee hearing will examine U.S. Airlines customer service policies and issues and what can be done to improve the flying experience for American travelers. Among those scheduled to testify are the CEO of United Airlines, American Airlines' Senior Vice President of Customer Service, and executives from Southwest Airlines and Alaska Airlines. The hearing is open to the public, and high turnout is expected. More consumer news. About 21,000 AT&T wireless workers could walk off the job as soon as tomorrow. The Communications Workers of America Union gave the company 72 hours notice Friday of a possible walkout. Union members have been working on rolling on an extension of their previous labor contract since early February, but have yet to strike a deal with AT&T. All right, Jenna, thanks so much. Still ahead in this live broadcast, we have 4 more things for you to do today. But first, Peta's here with a Weather Authority update.
Fog as well as cold rain showers. I'll let you know when we'll introduce that possibility for snow across the metro coming up in my hour-by-hour forecast. This is WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend.
Welcome back to WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend. There is something in the shot there that's just how foggy it is this morning. Taking a look from our first national camera, looking east into Iowa. Definitely a chilly and dreary morning out there. We'll hear from Peta in just a moment. But first, let's check out what's happening locally today. Part of your 6 things to do. Leading Ladies is playing at the Omaha Community Playhouse. Many are calling it a hilarious show. Today's showing starts at 2. Also today, the Notables are in concert at Community of Christ in Woodbine, Iowa. The Notables is a men's singing group that was formed in 1993. Today's show starts at 2 p.m. And remember, you can always find out what's coming up today by going to the WOWT community calendar on our website. We have 2 more things for you coming up at 8:55. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Peta Shearwood with this chilly Sunday forecast. I think we're ready for a bit of a warm-up.
You know what? You have to hang tight for that because this morning we're dealing with that interactive radar there as well.
And it's nice to see that steady climb throughout the next few days, and then we get to the 70s, which is what we're all really waiting for.
I think a lot of people who do need to take care of a lot of yard work, now that we have the rain, I know a lot of people grass have grown so much, you'll be able to do that by the middle of the week. You should be good to go.
There you go. Good to hear. Thanks so much, Peta. And it would be time for our first birthday segment this time of the morning, but bad news, we don't have any for today. We do always invite you to submit those to us. You can share them on WOWT.com/firstbirthdays to upload your child's picture and their story.
Remember, the link is in our news drop-down menu on our homepage. Remember, we must have the photos at least one week.
Probably a lot of indoor birthday celebrations today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know what? Bring on the hot chocolate. Why not?
Perfect. Thanks so much, Peta. Well, coming up after the break, we take a look at the week that was in your 6 Online report right after the break. Just turning 8:52 on your Sunday morning. Welcome back to WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend. Taking a look at our CityCam network. That's the American National Bank camera at 90th and Dodge this morning. Wet roadways out there and a chilly commute for anyone heading out today. Time now, though, to take a look back at some of the biggest headlines that got you talking this week. Here's Cerise Cole with our 6 Online report.
Well, our spring.
Thanks, Cerise. If you'd like to send us a comment, our email address is 6online@WOWT.com. But you could also call the newsroom at 346-6666. We also receive several comments on our WOWT 6 News Facebook page. Still ahead this morning, a final check of our hour-by-hour forecast, but first we'll have 2 more things for you to do today. This is WOWT 6 News Daybreak Weekend. Welcome back. 2 more things happening locally today, adding us up to 6 this morning. The Omaha Public Library will host Storybook Land. It takes place at the Saddlebrook branch, not far off of 144th and Fort, from 1 to 4 p.m. The event is free and registration is not required. After being rained out yesterday, the Storm Chasers are slated to play a doubleheader today against the Oklahoma City Dodgers at Warner Park. Gates will open at 1 p.m. with the first game starting at 2:05 p.m. Remember, you can always go to WOWT.com to find out what is coming up today. And now we check in with meteorologist Peta Sherwood for a final look at the hour-by-hour forecast.
You know what? A good day to curl up with a book.
Today.
So, yes, because we have those rain showers out there early this morning. It's going to continue throughout the day as well. You can see that we have some heavier pockets off towards parts of the south and west, and some snow showers off towards the west as well. That's not expected to move into our area until tonight. So rain showers continuing, winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour, steady temperatures in the 40s. And then we introduce that possibility for snow in the overnight hours, lingering into Monday morning. Remember, anything that accumulates across the metro likely to melt off for tomorrow morning as temperatures rise into the 50s for tomorrow, and we have some drier conditions once we get into the end of the work week.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tonight live at 5.
WOWT 6 News is everywhere. Watch every newscast streamed live on our website and mobile app.